Hi everyone, Justine Froelker, and it's Faith Wrestle Friday. And I'm kind of being stalked by Exodus. So Faith Wrestle Friday, and this is going to be a few weeks, this is going to air a few weeks after Lent, but don't you always get surprised, even though we should never be surprised by this, when like your devotionals line up, especially when they're by different authors, different, like one's a dated one, one's not a dated one, whatever it might be, or a book that you're reading through along with a dated devotional, whatever it might be. So I'm doing a Lent plan through the She Reads Truth app. I will link that below. And Chad, my husband, and I are working through the Bible in a year on a YouVersion reading plan. I'll link that down below too. And it just happens that literally I am reading the same chapter of Exodus twice a day. Like, it's crazy. The Lent reading plan is lining up completely with the Bible in a year plan, which the Bible in the year plan is taking us through like two chapters of the Old Testament. Then we read a chapter or partial chapter of a gospel, and then we read a psalm or a Proverbs, typically every day. I love it. It's a great plan. So it's just, I'm literally being stalked by Exodus. So I'm like, okay, I'm obviously needing to learn something from this, which I will record another one on this one. Watch for next week. But this week we are in Exodus 4, starting with Moses talking in verse 10. Please, Lord, I am not a talented speaker. I have never been good with words. I wasn't when I was younger, and I haven't gotten any better since you revealed yourself to me. I stutter and stammer. My words will get all twisted. And then God says to him, who is it that gives a person a mouth? Who determines whether one person speaks and another doesn't? Why is it that one person hears and another doesn't? And why can one person see and another doesn't? Isn't it because of me, the Eternal? You know it is. Now go, and I will be there to give you the words to speak. I will tell you what to say. So, like, God is kind of saying, like, I don't care that you stumble and stutter over your words. I know that. I'm the one doing that. And I still want you to go out and speak. And Moses is still not, his confidence, the enemy, whatever you might want to call it. I don't look up any of this before I do these. Just so you know, these are just kind of like me exploring scripture. He says in verse 13, please, Lord, I beg you, send your message through someone else. Anyone else. He says, I don't want to do this. Kind of like when Jesus said, I don't want to do this. I just made that connection. Could that be a piece of foreshadowing a little bit? It's different. I know that. It's different, but it's kind of the same. Like, I beg you to send your message through someone else. I don't want to do this. Take this cup. Man. And then verse 14. This one got me. Then the Eternal became angry with Moses. So I just checked my Bible app, because remember, I go in the Voice. But like, I just checked my Bible app and just to see if there's different words used for angry in the other translations. And I think I checked like 7 other translations, and they all say God became angry with Moses. He's pissed. He's being doubted. And yet, at the same time, literally the next line in the Voice, the Eternal One says, how about your brother Aaron? I know he speaks eloquently. And look, he's already on his way to meet you. Like, literally, Moses says he's doubting, like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. Number 2, he asks for God to say, take this away from me. I don't want to do this. He asks for God to help him, saying he's not equipped to do it. Because again, God calls the unqualified. Oh, I'm so unqualified for this. But like, he calls unqualified. But he trusts God, and he comes to him with his shortcomings and says, I can't do this. I can't. And then God reminds him, no, you can. Like, I got you. Like, remember, I got this. Like, I'm God over here. I got this. And Moses still won't receive that confidence through God and still asks him to take it away. And that's when God gets pissed. And yet, God still sends Aaron. He still gives Moses help. And he still uses Moses. because that was God's plan. Because that's how the greater good was going to happen. It had to be through Moses. I don't know. So when I read this twice since I'm being stalked by Exodus, I don't know. I literally wrote in this journal. I keep a list of what I'm going to talk about on Faith Wrestle Friday. It's growing. It's kind of crazy. It's God. But I wrote Moses asked for help. He doubted himself, and God gave Aaron. And it wasn't without God being upset with him either. I mean, it says in multiple translations, God was angry. And he still gave him his help. So what do we need to ask God for? We need to lay down our shortcomings. We need to come to him with our failures and our shortcomings. He already knows them anyways. He knows I'm struggling with doubt. He knows that that's the lie that the enemy uses to pull me away from him. Always. He knows it's the things of this world, and it's my doubt that this will be okay. And I must turn to him and talk to him about it. He already knows about it. And yep, he's probably going to be angry because my Father is perfect. My Father is all loving. My Father knows me best. My Father has my best interest always, in his greater good, which is my greater good. So he's has every right to be frustrated and be girl, hello, don't question my fairness. And he'll then send me help. Man, I love that. Thank you for being here. Please like and share, always. And make sure to subscribe and click notifications so you never miss a Take Care Tuesday, Therapy Thursday, Faith Wrestle Friday. And I will see you next week.